It is Tuesday, June 30th. Welcome aboard to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Kevin Friel.
And I'm Andrew Gobiel. Thank you very much for joining us.
And just a reminder, right at the top, the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website, www.town.barnstable.ma.us.
We continue our voyage through the town of Barnstable, again here in the village of Hyannis at the corner of Ocean Street and South Street, where over the next few days it's going to be very, very busy. It is the 4th of July holiday weekend coming up. We'll have a complete listing of all the goings-on, not only here in Hyannis, but across the town in just a moment. But just a few hundred yards down the street at Ocean Street at Bismore Park, the artist shanties are up and running. What exactly is an artist shanty? Kevin had an opportunity to speak with one of the artists as the traffic moves on by a little bit earlier today.
As mentioned to you just a few moments ago, we are down here at Bismore Park. We are in the yellow shanty here right on the harbor. We're with Roz, who does Cape Cod Lady Slipper jewelry. Roz, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into your craft?
Well, I'm born and raised Cape Codder. I've lived here most of my life. I did some traveling for 10 years. Moved back in '89. And then on vacation in Mystic, Connecticut, I was looking for a little trinket that said Seaside Village. Couldn't find anything, and so then I thought all the years growing up, how many people walked off Cape Cod and thought, gee, I'd like a souvenir, and all they could find was T-shirts, hats, and visors. So when I was younger, I used to collect these shells, and then I thought, what a great idea. So I collected them, put them in my sweatshirt, dropped them on the sand, and drew a ring around him, and it looked like a big, huge necklace. And then God led me to other people, just put him in my path, and just led me to finding out what a drill was and what kind of drill to use, and a bail and jump ring, and I had no clue what these words meant, and it just exploded from there, and I'll be doing it for 5 years this August.
I'm not sure what some of those words mean that you just mentioned. Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the Cape Cod Lady Slipper jewelry, and then we can get into the process of how actually you make that jewelry.
Okay, it's called a Cape Cod Lady Slipper seashell because the lady slipper flower is actually etched in the shell in about 20% of the pendant shells and about 5% of the earrings. And it's the actual lady slipper flower that God himself has created in the shell. And it goes through like a 10-day process, and when I pick it up from the beach, you can't see the flower. So in like the 4th or 5th day of the process, the flower just pops at you.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of those things that you have to do to prepare it over those the 10 days?
Yeah. Well, it's a washing and curing for a couple of days, and then you have to dry it extensively because they are porous. And then, of course, then you go through a drilling process and sanding process. And if they last through that, then they go through a 3-day hardening process. And then they're very durable. Just don't sleep with them on because they are a seashell, and they'll last you forever. This is my first set. It's been 5 years, and I wear it every day for advertising.
Wow,
so
they're
they
gorgeous.
Are durable.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you tell us about how long you've been in the artist shanty down here in Hyannis Harbor, and how long you've had the shop here?
This is my 3rd year down here at the harbor, and I do have my jewelry in other jewelry stores over the Cape and other gift shops too.
What are some of the benefits associated with having you, Roz, the artist, in the shanty with all the wonderful things that you've made for someone just stopping by to see you?
Well, I just started wire wrapping sea glass just about 3 weeks ago, and my quahog shells are brand new too, about 3 weeks ago. So I do work on those down here, and when people see me working on them, they tend to buy it right out of my hand.
So it's not only just the Cape Cod Lady Slipper seashells, but there's also other things that you do. Could you tell us a little bit more about the quahog shells and the sea glass?
Well, the quahog shells, there was a young gentleman that found a shell, and it was already sanded, and he came up the boardwalk last year, and it was during the one big storm, and he kind of hid my shanty while it passed, and he had it in his pocket, and he asked me if I wouldn't mind making a necklace from it for his girlfriend. And so I did, and then he just gave me the inspiration of doing that, and then I just kind of experimented with the drilling and the wire wrapping last winter. Not too successful, and then I just really got into it this summer down here because I had more time. And then I started getting into that, and then I found a few pieces of sea glass, and then my girlfriend gave me a bunch more. So I just expanded it to that, my bangles. And I have the only convertible bangle, and I create that's sold on the Cape.
You do have a website as well,
yes,
right?
CapeCodLadySlipperJewelry.com.
Okay.
And you can order, and it's free shipping and handling on my website, too.
So, Roz, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the artist shanties down here at Bismore Park?
Okay. Well, being a local, I was down here about 5 years ago, and I saw these shanties, and then I went up to the town hall, and I put my name on a waiting list. And then they called me 3 years ago, and I had to go through an extensive jury process. I think there were like 12 jurors. And it was a 15-minute presentation. Then again, you were putting on another waiting list, and then they contacted you sometime in the winter. So it gave you plenty of time to prepare.
So this must be, seeing that it's your third year here, what keeps you coming back year after year?
Well, a lot of the locals actually come back and they shop here. They have a lot of friends off Cape, either relatives or people that they've known lived here, so they want to give them a memento of Cape Cod, so they keep coming back. And it's just it's a beautiful place to work. It's right on the harbor. Nothing goes better than seashells and salt water, and it's just a wonderful place to be. And if I wasn't successful, you know, it wouldn't be my third year.
Right.
So I just love it. I have a lot of people stop by and say, "Oh, I bought your jewelry last summer," and they add to it, or they say, everybody stops me and says, "Oh, you must have been somewhere on the beach," and so they get a lot of compliments. Makes me feel good.
And certainly if people want to find something that is really a piece of Cape Cod and not just a hat or a slogan or a T-shirt, that they can come out to the artist shanties and find just some wonderful, wonderful gifts and trinkets and all sorts of stuff to take on their way.
Yep.
Roz, we thank you a lot for joining us on Barnstable Today.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Again, just one of the many artists here at the Shanties in Hyannis.
On the meeting scheduled tonight, we have a Conservation Commission meeting scheduled to go at 6:30 in the Town Hall hearing room.
And tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the Selectmen's Conference Room, the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission is going to meet. Rather slow schedule for the meetings this week, but believe me, there is plenty going on across the town. What we'll do right now is go over a list of the parades in the villages in the town of Barnstable on Saturday, the 4th of July, starting in West Barnstable at 10:30 at the County Complex. The West Barnstable Village will take place and end up at the Village Hollow. Then, in Centerville, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Centerville Elementary School and ending at the Centerville Recreation Building, they'll have their 4th of July parade. In Cotuit, the parade starts at 11 o'clock in front of the Cotuit Post Office and is going to end at the Cotuit Elementary School. Then in Hyannisport, their parade begins at 11 a.m. at the Hyannisport Post Office. The road race begins at 9 a.m. Kevin's been in training for the road race. In Osterville, their parade starts at 11 o'clock on Webster Street and is going to end at Warren Street. Then in Hyannis, the parade begins at 4 p.m. on Main Street. Children's bicycle decorating contest takes place on the Village Green, precedes that parade. I want to remind you that there is going to be a parking ban on Main Street in Hyannis from 2 in the afternoon until 6:30 in the evening. Again, a parking ban on Main Street in Hyannis. There are a concert going on. The Barnstable Town Band will be playing at the Village Green from 5:30 until 7 p.m. And then the Cape Cod Conservatory Jazz Ensemble is going to be playing here at Asselton Park at 7 o'clock until dusk. As far as fireworks are concerned, they are beginning at dusk at approximately 9 p.m. The best viewing options are at Asselton Park, Bismore Park, and Veterans Park Beach. There is a parking ban on Ocean Street, Old Colony Boulevard, and Calmus Beach from 5 p.m. until midnight. And once again, you can hear the traffic outside here on South Street and Ocean Street. You can expect, hopefully, the traffic will be busy across the town over the next few days. Taking a look at the forecast, it looks like the weather is going to improve. For Kevin Friel, I'm Andrew Gobeel. Thanks very much for joining us.